The first homework video of 2023-2024, done during lunch break. You're welcome for that. Let's see, on the front page, I think I'll do number 3. It's the hardest one of them all. It's not a hard problem, though. I mean, all you gotta do is use your distributive property. We're gonna make it look like something familiar. So now it becomes negative 2x plus 4 plus 3, which is y equals negative 2x plus 7. So this has a slope of negative 2 and a y-intercept equal to 7. So there's where I'll cross the y-axis. That's my y-intercept. Then from there I'll fall 2 and run 1. The only reason I'm doing lots of points is just so it's somewhat straight. No other reason. And that's what my line looks like. Not hard. This line will run forever to the left. It'll just keep going, and it'll keep going left until it reaches negative infinity. And it'll also keep going right until it reaches positive infinity. So its domain is negative infinity to positive infinity. You might also see that in set builder. All values of x. Your textbook this year says x is all real numbers, which you can write out if you want. Most people, myself, don't like writing that. Just gets old to write that. But common is x is an element of the real. This is kind of where I'd like you to be. Range, this thing will fall for all of its life. It'll fall to negative infinity, and it will also rise for all of its life to positive infinity. So the range is also negative infinity to infinity. All lines are. Or using set builder notation, all values of y such that y is an element of the real. Transformations, because this was the mother function, is y equals x. There was 2 transformations that happened. Y equals x would have looked like this, wouldn't it? That's y equals x. That's what mom looks like. So there were transformations that happened. What all has happened? Well, for one, she's steeper. There's a vertical stretch with a factor of 2. The slope is twice as steep. Now the slope is also negative. And if we took this line right here and we flipped it, then its slope would be negative. So what else happened was we had a reflection on the x-axis. And there's one more. Mom crosses the y-axis 0. We had a horizontal shift of up 7. So that's 3. On the front page, it's probably the hard one. All right, back page. Some of these are like really easy. I'm not going to do. I guess I'll do 5, because 5 is moderately difficult. We're going to find the slope. 9 minus 4 over 5 minus a negative 1. That's going to give us 5/6. Then I'm going to throw away a point. Not ever going to look at it again. And I'm going to use point slope formula. Which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And I'm just going to plug into that. And here's where I'm going to get my x1 and my y1. I'm just going to plug into it. I'd have y minus a 4, because y1 is 4. The slope is found to be 5/6. And then x minus a negative 1. And taking away a negative becomes addition. Invoke the distributive property. Y minus 4 equals 5/6 of x plus 5/6. And I'm going to counteract subtraction through addition. So that taking away a 4 on the left becomes adding 4 on the right. And to add or subtract 2 fractions, you have to have a common denominator. Please don't write 4 and 5/6. Nobody does that. 4 would be 24 over 6, because 24 over 6 is 4. And 24 plus 5 is 25/6. 8, y equals x is transformed by reflecting over the x-axis. So that makes it y equals negative x, shifting up 6, negative x plus 6. Applying a vertical stretch with a factor of a third, well, that just changes the slope. Instead of the understood 1, now it's 1/3. That's pretty simple. This is the resulting equation. I'll do 9. Y equals x is transformed by reflecting over the x-axis. What that means to me is that the slope is negative. Given a vertical stretch of 3, when you put these two together, you get that the slope is negative 3 and passes through a point. Well, the point gives me an x1 and a y1, which means I just get to use point slope formula. I get to do y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, and I plug stuff into it. So glancing at my point, my y1 value is 4, my slope was negative 3, and my x1 value was 1. And I just invoke the distributive property. 2 more steps, I'll be done. Y minus 4 equals negative 3x plus 3. Change that subtraction to addition, and 3 plus 4 is 7. There's your line. I'll do all the ACTs for you because you need it. Hopefully you try it on your own. Regardless of how the graph is oriented in the standard XY coordinate plane, no graph in one of the following categories has a vertical line of symmetry. Vertical line of symmetry is simply a vertical line that cuts something in half perfectly. So it cuts in half perfectly. You talk about a line that goes on forever and ever both directions. Well, you can cut that in half. You can. The left would always be the same as the right, so not that. You talk about a square. I believe you can cut a square in half right down the middle. You can fold it. That's its line of symmetry. The pentagon, the 5-shaped figure, all right? A little hard for me to draw, but a pentagon is a regular figure. I'm going to mess it up completely too. I had to draw mine sideways, and I'm 1, 2, 3, 4. Not doing a good job on that one. I haven't drawn a pentagon in quite some time, apparently. Well, mine's not perfect, but there is a line that I can draw through it, cut it in half. Parallelogram is a square. Parallel squares are parallelograms. This leaves the scalene triangle, which means a triangle where no sides match. So these things can be hideous looking. I can't cut that thing perfectly in half. So it's K. 41, Algebra 1 question. The equation 24x squared plus 2x equals 15 has 2 solutions. What is the greater of the 2 solutions? What I'm going to do is I'm going to move the 15 over and I'm going to attempt to factor it. If you jump equality, you change your sign. To get to a 24, I don't know. Looking at my answer choices, let's try 8x and 3x. Factors of 15 would be 5 and 3 all day long, but is it the right choice? 40 and 3. These don't work. That's 40 and 9, and I needed 2. So I'm not going to deal with 8x and 3x. I'm going to go with 6x and 4x. And now I can use the 5 and the 3, because now the inside makes 20 and the outside makes 18. So I factored. I want to have a positive 2x, so I want the 20 to be positive and I want the 18 to be negative. Third period asked about this property in class Monday. The rest of them didn't. is the zero product property where you cover up. So 6x plus 5 is 0, which would give me that x is negative 5/6, or 4x minus 3 is 0, which would give me that x is 3/4. And they want the greater. 3/4 is bigger than negative 5/6. 33, Aurelio, or however you pronounce his name, is purchasing carpet tiles to cover an area in his living room floor that is 8 1/3 feet wide by 10 feet long. Now, 1 foot is 12 inches. Always has been, always will be. So when I talk about this thing in inches, 8 times 12 is 96, 1/3 of 12 is 4. This thing is 100 inches wide, 10 feet long, so 200 inches long. The tiles are 20 by 20, so I can fit, and my drawing's not to scale, obviously, need to make it a little bigger, but I can hit 5 across. I can hit 5 tiles wide. And my drawing's not big enough, but if each tile is 200 inches, I can do 10 tiles long. And I guess if you need that drawing there, I don't know. But it's 5 times 10. Oh, I'm an idiot. 12 times 10 is 120 inches. Oops. It's 6 tiles long. So 5 wide, 6 long, 5 times 6 is 30. I need 30 tiles. In the standard XY coordinate plane, a circle with a center at 8, 5 has a radius of 9 and a radius of 9 coordinate units has which of the following equations? This is geometry. That is a geometry standard. You are supposed to, with Miss Cantrell, to memorize that the formula for a circle is y minus k squared. I got that backwards. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal to r squared. And you just plug stuff in. This is h and k. So I am looking for x minus 8 all squared. I said 8, wrote 5. Plus y minus 5 all squared. And the r is for radius. So it would equal a 9 squared because the radius is 9. You just plug stuff in. Not going to be the pluses on this one. And if you square a 9, you get an 81. So of your homework, which was 14 questions, I did 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I did over half your homework. And some of y'all still going to complain that it's too much. It's too much. I don't know what to do for you.